Welcome to Kung Fu Havoc number 2. In the other movie, I touched on Ernie Reyes Jr., and the movie that I couldn't name to save my life was called The Rundown. So this is video 4, I think. Maybe video 5. When I figure out what it is, when I count them out, we'll be able to put the number there. But anyway, this video will be about The Rock. That's right, if you smell what The Rock is cooking, you're gonna enjoy this video a little bit. I'm not going to go into too many details because this is about martial arts, but it's also Black History Month, and I wanted to put The Rock in here for the simple fact that wrestling is also a form of martial arts. And if you've seen The Scorpion King, which is my favorite movie, if you've seen The Rundown, if you've seen Walking Tall, I'm only going through my favorite movies, Rock, I'm sorry, okay? Some of the movies that you made, they were great movies, they just weren't my movies. I did like Skyscraper, by the way. Because it did show interracial relationships and families and gives me hope that there's still hope for me to actually make it into this business because I've been struggling for 19 years and I've gotten no breaks whatsoever. So, let's see. There's another movie The Rock did that got by me, but I don't remember what it was. And I didn't ever get to watch Ballers, and that's coming to an end now, so I can probably catch up on it. But for the most part, we're going to talk about The Scorpion King and The Rundown. And the reason why we're going to say The Rundown for the last part, because I mentioned Ernie Reyes Jr. and he deserves another mention in this video. So, for the most part, The Scorpion King was my favorite Rock movie. Of all the movies he's ever done, I love The Scorpion King. Mostly for The Rock. No, I'm just kidding. Mostly for Kelly Hu. But since this is a Black History Month, I'm sorry, Kelly Hu is Hawaiian, so we're going to let that slide. Rock is Black and Samoan, and I like The Rock, so we're definitely going to talk about Scorpion King because it was my favorite fucking Rock movie of all time. Rock got a lot of shit for The Scorpion King. Excuse me. It didn't get, like the billing that it deserved, but, you know, he had great guys in there. The hell was the big black guy name? Was it Ving Rhames? No, it wasn't Ving Rhames. It was Michael Clark Duncan. I'm sorry, Ving Rhames. Michael Clark Duncan, who has passed away. He played in Daredevil, but we're not gonna worry about Michael Clark Duncan and Ving Rhames right now because Ving Rhames has been through some racist issues because of him and Michael Clark Duncan looking somewhat alike to white people. Sorry, Ving Rhames, y'all kind of did resemble each other a little bit. I know how that feels because people used to think that I was Ernie Reyes Jr. And I wish that I was because then I would actually be working. Anyway, moving back on to Scorpion King. Scorpion King had a conglomerate of black people, and it was showing us a black civilization, sort of black civilization, because Mufayas was not exactly black, because the guy that played his brother was in there who was Asian-ish. I know the guy's name, I can't think of it to save my life, but he's not Bobby Sixkiller. Long story. I love Bobby Sixkiller. I can't remember his real name, but in Renegades, Bobby Sixkiller. You guys don't know him, okay? So this is about The Rock anyway. So his brother dies at the beginning because he got captured. Fight well, die well, whatever. And then Mufasa escapes, and then he catches the girl, and they go out to the desert. And thank you, Rock, for that because I love Kelly Hu. They're just not here or there. So The Rock's fight scenes and all those things, you know, was pretty fucking awesome, you know. And you would not think of The Rock as a martial artist, and why would you have The Rock in a Kung Fu Havoc video? Because it's Black History Month, and Rock is half black, and he's done very good for the black community, and he's done very good in fighting in movies, and a lot of the times, he has made martial arts in some of his movies. He doesn't just always drop kick people. He doesn't always rock bottom them. You guys have seen Hobbs and Shaw, right? Yeah, Hobbs and Shaw. That's right. Now, I know. In Hobbs and Shaw, he's mostly Samoan. Okay, we get that. It's all good. We're good with that. Please stop giving The Rock a hard time about not playing black roles. Let the man do his damn job. So anyway, moving on from that, you know, he has put martial arts in a lot of the films that he's done. Only movie of The Rock's that I did not like, and I'm sorry, Rock, I couldn't stand it, mostly because you were a bad guy, and I'm not talking about Get Smart, and I'm not talking about Reno 911, where you blowed up. I'm talking about the space flick. I think it was like Doom, like Judge Doom, Doom something. It was based on the video game Doom, and Rock became the bad guy by the end of the picture. And just like in Get Smart, you don't see him as a bad guy until it's too fucking late when he's turning the knife. But for those movies, you know, Rock did really well. In Walking Tall, he was a badass. Sadly, he had to get his ass beat up and cut up and all that other shit. Became the sheriff. Started walking around with a very big stick. I pay attention to Rock, don't worry. The movies that I didn't really see him, I can't really acknowledge. The one where he was the father driving the rig, I didn't get to see. There was a couple of other ones in between that and Ballers that got by me, and I didn't get to see those either. So now we bring it down to my cousin Russell's favorite movie. Shout out to Russell. The Rundown. And the reason why I left The Rundown for last, because my alleged twin, Ernie Reyes Jr., was in it. Now, Ernie Reyes Jr. has been around for a while, like 82, 83, somewhere in there, where he has been kicking ass and taking names. And the last thing he done that I can remember was The Final Fu, where Matt Mall won it, and Matt Mall got to go do Kamen Rider. Sadly, Kamen Rider only got 2 seasons, which really fucking sucked. And the closest thing they had to a black person in Kamen Rider was Mark Dacascos, who's also Asian. Okay, sorry Mark Dacascos, you will probably not be in any of these videos just because this is Black History Month. Rock, you get to be lucky because if Asian History Month comes in, I will probably do another movie thing with you in it. Anyway, so in The Rundown, The Rock gets doped up because of some fruit that Sean Austin something or another, the dude from You Got a Tattoo, sweet, what does it say? It says sweet. You have a tattoo too, what does it say? It says dude. No, what's it say? It says sweet. No, what's it say? Sweet. Okay, so that guy, him and The Rock were on a movie. Rock had to go down to South America to bring this guy back. And somewhere in the midst of that, there was these locals who swung out of trees on vines, really thick vines. And Ernie Reyes Jr. was one of the locals who swung out of the trees on vines and beat the holy shit out of The Rock. The Rock does win by the end of that fight, but the fact that Ernie Reyes Jr., which shocked me because right after that I seen him in Rush Hour 2, where he was beating the shit out of Chris Tucker. And then Zhang Ziyi had popped up on the scene and she was beating the shit out of Chris Tucker. So yeah, you know, Ernie's not a tall man, but he's taller than me. But he's cut. He's cut. And the best movie you ever see him in, for me, was Surf Ninjas, because you actually get to see him versus him being Donatello in Ninja Turtles 1 and 2 from the 90s. Because he double dutied in Ninja Turtles 2. Because he was also the pizza delivery guy. Anyway, moving on. The fight would go on for like maybe 4 or 5 minutes. And they were swinging. It probably less than that on screen. But, you know, they were swinging from the vines. And Rock had to learn how to fight Ernie Reyes' fight so that he could beat Ernie Reyes. And they were rumbling. And I mean, they were rumbling. You see the vines. It was kind of like Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome with Tina Turner. That won't be in here because it's not a martial art film. But they were bouncing back and forth. And then eventually, I forgot what The Rock did. But somehow or another, he stopped getting his ass kicked by Ernie Reyes Jr. And so I want to close it out on that. I want to thank everyone that I mentioned from the WMAC Masters. I want to thank everything that I said for Rock and Ernie Reyes Jr. And you guys need to go check out The Rundown and definitely The Scorpion King. Thank you, Ernie Reyes Jr., for showing the world that size does not matter. I'm James Williams Jr., Kung Fu Advocate number 2. Be seeing you. Thanks, Rock, for The Scorpion King and The Rundown.